Hi, I really like to do genuine videos, but after doing 0BST Soul Run of Pokemon Red, anything I came up with felt kinda underwhelming, you know? I loved playing that challenge, but after destroying the game with 0BST, any idea felt like a downgrade in difficulty. Fortunately, I got a really good suggestion in the comment section. Instead of using the best moves and typing to build the best Pokemon around Zero stats, I will try to beat Pokemon Red with 0BST using a real Pokemon. So I picked up Mewtwo and deleted its base stats. That's it. This Mewtwo, that from now on I will be calling Mew Zero, will have the same typing, moveset, growth rate, etc. of Mewtwo. Is it possible to become champion in Pokemon Red using only a Mew Zero? In other words, are Mewtwo's typing and moves enough to crush the game? Or do stats really matter? Let's find out. So my starter will be obviously Mew Zero. I chose to replace Bulbasaur, so my rival Jean will be using Charizard. No real reason really. Let's take a look at Mew Zero's move pool while I complete Hoke's parcel quest. Because you're not intended to catch Mewtwo up until the last map of the game, Game Freak didn't really bother with level up moves before the 60s. Funnily enough, Mew Zero starts with Confusion and Disable instead of Recover and Barrier. I wonder if Cerulean's Mewtwo was original level 60 because what's the point of learning Barrier, Psychic and Recover by level up if you cannot catch Mewtwo before level 70? I'm kinda glad Confusion is an option because it's a very good move in the early game. Respectable power and great PP. Step Psychic is obviously amazing, but I don't want to run to the Poké Center every 10 turns to refill it while grinding. Swift and Disable are not that good. Recover and Amnesia are incredible, maybe too good. Maybe PJ is too good too. I'll speed up the game sometimes, that's why this small icon appears in top right corner. I hope it doesn't bother you too much. Have you ever seen a Pokemon lose to a Route 1 struggler? Me neither. Route 1 is too dangerous to grind, so my plan is to do it in Breeding Forest. Both Weedle and Kakuna are weak to Confusion and Psychic, while Metapod is not dangerous, as long as I don't use Disable on it. So these three Pokemon are great to farm experience points to level up. You might be wondering, what's the point of leveling up if Mew Zero base stats are, well, zero? Base stats aren't the only variable used in the stats formula. By defeating a Pokemon, Mew Zero earns both experience points to level up and stat experience, the ancient EV system. It's basically what makes a trained Pokemon better than a freshly caught one. So grinding is still a major part of this challenge. Right now I have 3 trainer battles available. John on Route 22, the Junior in Peter's gym and Brock. The Junior trainer may be actually impossible to beat at the moment because Diglett only has one attack move, so Mew Zero will always be too weak to defeat Sandshrew afterwards. John is kinda difficult and defeated me many times, but I eventually won at level 13. Both Brock and John are winnable because they can spam status moves, giving me free turns to knock out their Pokemon. Let me show you Brock's battle. Geodude uses Defense Curl and I select Disable. Unlike in future games, Disable disables a random move from the opponents instead of disabling the last move used, so I always started my rock attempts with a 27.5% chance to block Geodude's tackle. Oh, and Disable can last 0 turns, amazing right? Anyways, Onix does tackle Mew Zero once, but then uses Screech and Bite, so the battle is over. Brock gave me TM34 Bite, and I was so disappointed by Disable that I almost used it. Almost. In this challenge, I decided to go after 3 main questions. Is it possible to beat the game without overleveling the gym leader? If not, is it at least possible to beat the game before level 81, when Mew Zero gets Amnesia? If not, is it possible to beat the game at all? Watching Mew Zero getting slapped by multiple PGs is not a good sign, but I'll do my best. Mount Moon was not a good time. The trainer battles were not that bad honestly, my main problem were the wild battles. Zubat is usually a pretty annoying but useless opponent. In this run though, they are a menace. It's faster than Mew so escaping is not guaranteed, and they spam Leash Life. Yes, it's a very weak remove, but remember that Mew is a Psychic type, so Leash Life deals a ton of damage. In fact, I lost many times against trainer battles because I kept getting attacked by Zubats right in front of them. It was so bad that I triggered the trainer flying glitch twice by accident. Cerulean City. Let's try Misty at level 21. Staryu's Water Gun takes over half of Mew's HP. Psychic, on the other hand, seems to be a 5-hit KO. Ouch. How in the world will I beat Misty without overleveling? Misty can waste some time with the useless X defend, but Staryu and Starmie lack stats moves, so eventually I'll get knocked out even with tackles. This moveset is not good enough. Looking at Mew's TM move pool, there's hope. Seismic Toss does damage equal to the user's level, so Mew's horrible offensive stats will be bypassed, hopefully letting me knock out Staryu and Starmie with enough luck. Where's Seismic Toss? Route 25, blocked by my rival. Pidgeotto starts the battle with Quick Attack. Then Gust. There's no way I'm winning the battle at level 21. So no, it's not possible to beat the game without overleveling the gym leader. With that out of the way, I'm free to grind a bit. And remember, other than base stats, this is a vanilla Mewtwo, so I'm grinding a Pokemon of the slow experience group. Not that bad in this run because grinding is all about earning stat experience, not level ups, but it is what it is, I guess. At level 23, Mew tanks 2 hits from both Pidgeotto and Staryu without fainting. Even at level 24, Starmie is too much. I'll keep grinding in this patch of grass west of Cerulean. I could grind against both Misty or the rival, but defeating dozens of wild Pokemon gives much more stat experience per level than leveling up by knocking out 3 or 4 Staryus and Pidgeottos. It's level 30. Starmie is a 10-hit KO? I can't say honestly. Pidgeotto is easily knocked out, Abra is free, Rattata is a one-shot, Charmander critically hits twice but it's not enough to defeat Mew. I'm free. I picked up Seismic Toss and destroyed Starmie with 2 Seismic Tosses. I also used the M45 Thunder Wave. It's better than Disable and Swift is useless, but it wasn't that useful in this run. This run will get way faster now that Misty is out of the way. And I'm not saying that because of the bike. Oh, my bag is full. Inside SSN, I meet my rival again. I won on my second try. Psychic and Confusion take out Pidgeotto, Mew then tanks a Hyper Fang, Seismic Toss bypasses Cadaver's amazing special stat, and Charmeleon wastes his turn with status moves. I'm grinding against all trainers possible so I don't have to grind later in the run. Healthy Surge was not that easy, but was way easier than Misty. My first attempt was at level 37, Voltorb was a 2-shot and Pikachu didn't damage Mew that much, even with a crit Thundershock. Raichu is a menace though. I have to roll either Growl or X-Speed, otherwise Thundershock may be a loss, and Thunderbolt will probably be a loss. Eventually, at level 39, Mew was lucky enough to not get critted by Thunderbolt and 3 shots a growling Raichu. At this point, as you may know, the Kanto region opens up. A big portion of the region becomes available and the player can choose to access many different routes and conquer gyms at their own pace and order. I'll skip these grinding sections. As I'm writing these, I've yet to choose what footage I'm using, so it's possible that Mew's level varies between segments. So if that happens, you can assume I cut a bunch of random trainer battles. I could hack in rare candies, but remember that grinding in this specific run is not about leveling up, it's about accumulating stat experience. I also picked up some PP ups along the way, specifically 2 in Celadon and 1 on Route 13. So if I show up Psychic with more than 10 PP, that's it. Celadon Gym's trainers were pretty easy. Unfortunately, Erika's Victory Bell is obnoxious, outspeeds Mew and spams Sleep Powder and Wrap. Razor Leaf is pretty strong too, especially because it always crits. Ice Beam will not save me, at least for now. The fighting dojo in Saffron was great, easy, a good place to grind and to get a strength user. Rocket hideouts are also amazing for these, a bunch of poison and ground type Pokemon, so Psychic and Ice Beam make quick work of almost every Pokemon. Unlike the early game, Mewtwo is consistently sweeping entire teams, not only because of stat experience already earned, but also because the game difficulty kinda plateaus in the mid game. For example, Giovanni was no match for Poison Mewtwo with about half HP remaining. Confusion was a great move, but it's time to replace it with Thunderbolt. Bolt Beam is great coverage by itself, but Thunderbolt is maybe more important than Ice Beam because, kinda surprisingly, Mewtwo seems to have a lot of trouble dealing with Gyarados. I know Gyarados is strong, but there are stronger Pokemon out there. It's really hard to explain, but I think Gyarados' moveset is better for the AA trainer because it lacks usual status move across all levels. The chance to spam Leer is really low, and all the other moves are good enough to weaken Mewtwo for other AI Pokemon, or even straight up one-shot Mewtwo. Thanks to Thunderbolt, I'm able to defeat my rival, along with every trainer inside Pokemon Tower. Not on my first try though. Marowak down, Rocks down, Pokeflute obtained, Snorlax tossed away, Surf and Strength obtained. I'll skip to Koga, because most trained battles now are easy sweeps. On my first attempt I didn't even bother to heal the poison status. Coughing is a one-shot, Mug is a two-shot, Sludge is kinda scary. Wheezing booms, ending the battle. On my second attempt I forgot to heal my HP too. Oops. Coughing is a one-shot, Mug doesn't attack. This second coughing is a one-shot too and Wheezing doesn't boom, so the battle is over. I didn't heal in Fuchsia's Poké Center so I could use Teleport back to Southern. Erika time. Again. Victory Bell still outspeeds, god damn it. Wrap doesn't let Mewtwo attack so it's free shield damage. After a 5-turn wrap, Victory Bell uses Razor Leaf but Mewtwo survives with more HP than I expected. Mewtwo would probably survive 2-stab Razor Leafs if I had Blaine's badge boosting my special. And second turn straight up one-shots the grass poison. Mewtwo misses an Ice Beam but Tangela constricts, what a pointless move by the way. Ice Beam one-shots Tangela and Psychic almost one-shots Vileplume. Erika wasted her final turn with a super potion, so the battle is over. Silphco. Once again, I take my time to defeat every rocket and scientist in this tower. I know this may seem overkill, but I'll not become champion at level 58. I'll have to grind eventually, might as well be on my way to Giovanni, especially because once Giovanni is defeated, all these trainers will disappear forever. Oh nice, it's the Lapras guy. I need a Surfer to reach Cinnabar. Oh, I should have healed beforehand. Pidgeot, Execute and Gyarados are 2-shots but did nothing on their turns. Alakazam almost finishes off Mewtwo. Charizard Embers. I really should have healed. What a lucky battle wasted. On my second attempt, for example, I wasn't able to get past Alakazam. After losing 7 times, I went back to grinding against more random trainers. Besides that grinding session in Cerulean, I didn't feel the need to farm experience points against wild encounters. Level 62. This battle is very luck dependent, but being higher level makes it a bit easier. Pidgeot quick attacks twice, the Hags don't stun Mewtwo, Gyarados miss Pump, Alakazam disable Thunderbolt for 0 turns, incredible. Mewtwo levels up and can learn Barrier. I wasn't expecting this because I forgot Mewtwo learn moves by leveling up. Barrier would be amazing to set up badge boost glitch, but at the same time Mewtwo is so frail that Barrier might be too passive. I think that if I had to choose now that I'm writing the script, I would probably get rid of Seismic Toss, but I think it's debatable, and I don't think this was a massive misclick. If I had Recover, Barrier would be a no-brainer, but without reliable recovery, Barrier is much more difficult to abuse, and Seismic Toss is still very useful against special tanks, like Alakazam. Giovanni was pretty easy. Psychic dealt with Nidorino and the Queen, Seismic Toss was enough to take out Kangaskhan, and Ice Beam destroyed Rhyhorn. Sabrina is usually a very significant roadblock, not in this run. Kadabra and Mr. Mime can be knocked out with 2 Seismic Toss. Venomoth is almost a one-shot with Psychic, and Alakazam is free because Mewtwo is a Psychic type. So Sabrina is smart enough to not use Psychic type moves. Alakazam spams Recover, so I can simply fish for freezes or paralysis to then two-shot with Seismic Toss. I think Sabrina is the biggest reason to not learn Barrier. Seismic Toss is mandatory to survive Kadabra and Mr. Mime, and Ice Beam is the best way to guarantee win against Alakazam. And I'm not letting Thunderbolt and Psychic, so it's time to defeat Blaine. I'm trying first without healing because why not? You can see that Growlithe and Ponyta are two shots. Fire Spin scares me because like Rapid will not let Mewtwo attack Ponyta. Rapidash seems to be 3-shot. Second try, this time healed. Growlithe connects with Takedown, Ponyta then connects a 5-turn Fire Spin. And another Fire Spin, a critical one in fact. Blaine BMs me with a Super Potion and the battle is over, amazing. This battle is not easy. Even if Mewtwo reaches Arcanine with full HP, Psychic seems to be a 3-shot and Takedown straight at one-shots Mewtwo. I think in this clip I was saved by glitched badge boost. Basically I have to wait until Blaine throws the match with useless stats moves. On my 10th attempt, Growlithe Super Potions at full HP and boosts Mewtwo with Leer. Ponyta then boosts Mewtwo further with Tail Whip and Growl. Rapidash boosts Mewtwo with Tail Whip and fails another two. Arcanine embers twice and roars. Thanks Blaine. Viridian Gym is a great place to earn some extra levels and stat experience. High level opponents weak to Psychic and Ice Beam. Giovanni was nice. Nice Beam sweeps his entire team. Oh, let's try that again. Rhyhorn and Dugtrio Ice Beam. The Queen falls to Psychic. Giovanni saves me from both the King and Rhydon with a couple of guard specs. 6 major battles left before Mewtwo can be crowned champion. Rival, the Elite Four, and the champion. Because the champion and the rival are, spoiler, the same person, this final non-champion rival will be very useful to identify what are Mewtwo's main weaknesses for the final battle. For example, on my first try, I saw how easy it was to defeat Pidgeot, Execute and Rhyhorn. Gyarados, as always, is very dangerous and isn't one-shottable yet, but with a couple more levels or a badge boost, it's a guaranteed knockout. Alakazam destroyed me with a crit Psychic. That sucks, because I cannot block crits and there's no way I'll outspeed and one-shot champion Alakazam. I lost a bunch of times because Gyarados and Alakazam kept bullying me. I skipped a lot of aquatic trainers and fishermen because I rushed Cinnabar, so I decided to finish them off before trying this battle again. Huh, level 70. Wait, does that mean... Oh... Recover. Seismic Toss was amazing, but Recover is perfect. This is my third attempt with Recover. Pidgeot wing attacks twice, but I revert all damage against Rhyhorn. Gyarados was a one-shot, I think because of the badge boost glitch from Leer. Alakazam almost knocks me out with Psybeam, but lets me recover with a useless Reflect. Both Mewtwo and Alakazam can recover, but Recover is way better for Mewtwo because it lets me fish for freezes. Charizard could have defeated Mewtwo with 2 slashes, but instead it rage quitted the battle. Nice. So yeah, Recover lets Mewtwo take advantage of passive opponents and fish for secondary effects. Besides that, it also indirectly buffs the badge boost glitch because Recover extends the length of the battle, so more turns where Mewtwo stats modified, triggering more glitched boosts. The Indigo Plateau. I grind a bit more and picked a couple more items in optional areas before facing Pokemon League. I did try a lot of times with basically 2 strategies in mind. To use all my rare candies in the beginning, or playing without those rare candies, with a level 74 Mewtwo, just to see if I really needed those extra levels. Similarly to my Tauros run in Stadium video, I will talk about each elite trainer while showing a bunch of footage from many attempts, just because I think it's easier to explain those battles that way instead of showing my attempts in chronological order and flip-flopping between trainers. Got it? Nice. Lorelei without rare candies is very hard. Dugong usually is not that bad. Mewtwo can reliably survive and defeat Dugong. Cloyster can be tricky because he's not one hit KO and can finish off weakened Mewtwo runs from Dugong. Fortunately, the game rewards you every time you feed Monster with a checkpoint in solo. Very passive Pokemon. Mewtwo can heal with Recover and take it down. I think it's actually a good strategy to spam Recover against Slowro because more turns against Slowro means more turns where it can growl Mewtwo and more glitches stat boosts. This battle doesn't seem that bad, right? Wrong. Jinx is very dangerous because it spams Stab, Ice Punch and two strong normal moves, Thrash and Body Slam. I know Jinx is a special attacker, but Jinx attack is better than Mewtwo's defense. Besides that, Jinx space speed is amazing and translates into an 18.55% chance to critical hit Mewtwo. Body Slam has an additional 30% chance to paralyze Mewtwo, and Mewtwo cannot quit and needs about 3 attacks to take out Jinx. In short, Jinx will force Mewtwo into a long battle because Mewtwo needs to take many turns and recover many turns. But Mewtwo cannot afford to battle for long because RNG will be in Lorelei's favor. And after all that, Lapras 2-shots Mewtwo with either of its stab moves, out-damaging Recover. Mewtwo can win this fight with excellent RNG, but I think Lorelei may be the best reason to use Rare Candies. What's the difference between a level 74 Mewtwo and a level 86 Mewtwo? Do you remember what Mewtwo learns at level 81? Amnesia. Amnesia and Recover trivialize Lorelei's battle, because I can max my special attack in 3 turns against Dugong, and 3 badge boost glitches, recover all my HP and clean everything with Thunderbolt and Psychic. Kinda surprisingly, Mewtwo doesn't really need Ice Beam anymore, so I can forget it and learn the best stat boosting move in the entire game. Bruno is very easy. Level 74 Mewtwo can one-shot Bruno's entire team except Machamp, but Machamp cannot defeat Mewtwo even with a crit submission, so as long as it doesn't land a fissure, Mewtwo will be fine. And obviously a level 86 Mewtwo with Amnesia wrecks Bruno. Agatha is very tricky. Her team is not as strong, so Mewtwo won't be one-shot by anything. The problem is the stats move spam. If Hypnosis land, it's over. And of course Golbat is annoying. Haze resets both Amnesia and badge boosts, so any Mewtwo will struggle against this lady. Not as bad as Lorelei, but if you want to sweep the Elite Four without saving between trainers, you better pray for good RNG, or else Agatha will send you back to Lorelei. And you don't want to go back to Lorelei. Trust me. If you manage to defeat Agatha without rare candying Mewtwo, congrats. You're not getting past Lance though. Gyarados, once again, is Mewtwo's greatest threat, and can straight up outspeed and one-shot with Hydro Pump or Hyper Beam. So what's the point of saving rare candies up until Lance? I think that one extra level, so from level 86 to 87, is enough to significantly boost your chance to survive Hydro Pump, and if you use a rare candy before Lorelei, you may not be able to gain enough HP from 3 trainers to level up organically. But let's say that Mewtwo without rare candy survives Gyarados. I don't know, maybe Gyarados misses a Hyper Beam and gets paralyzed by Thunderbolt. Both of Lance's Dragonair will spam attacks because Lance's good AI sees agility as not very effective against Mewtwo. I would rather spend my time in a real life casino, better odds than to some way defeat Lance at level 75. Playing with Amnesia is a totally different story. On my first attempt I forgot to heal PP beforehand, and it was still better than any previous attempt Amnesia-less. I got lucky with a Leer from Gyarados. Mewtwo survives Dragonair Hyper Beam, and thanks to Amnesia, I can badge boost my speed stat enough to outspeed the dragons. After 3 Amnesias, Psychic one-shots the Dragonairs, Thunderbolt one-shots Aerodactyl, and Dragonite defeats Mewtwo thanks to Aerodactyl Supersonic. On my first attempt with restored PPs, I sweep Lance. Thunderbolting Gyarados immediately lets Mewtwo stack 3 Amnesias and win the battle. A Lance Hyper Beam crits. 7th time is a charm. Amnesia Mewtwo is better than non-Amnesia Mewtwo, but it's not invisible. There is only one battle left. Let me show you my first attempt. Jean the Rival sends out Pidgeot and I forgot to heal again. Oops. For real this time. Mewtwo stacks 2 Amnesias and recovers thanks to Pidgeot's Whirlwind. 3 Whirlwinds in a row. Very lucky. Pidgeot faints to a single Thunderbolt. Alakazam crits through my Amnesia boosts, but Mewtwo barely survives. 3 Reflects in a row, very lucky again. Rhydon can't do anything, Exeggutor was pretty easy too, Gyarados goes for Dragon Rage. I will admit, John fumbled this match, but that doesn't matter. I style against Charizard with Psychic and the battle is over. It is indeed possible to beat Pokemon Red with this nerfed Mewtwo. Way easier than I expected. My 0BST run was a walk in the national park because I used broken move combos to cheese every battle, and the early game in this video was hard. So I started doubting this run's viability. Once past Misty though, easier stat experience and diverse TM move pool let me catch up with the level plateau of Kanto's midgame, making it easy to gain even more stat experience to turn the late game less hard. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, you're amazing and I hope you have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, all those sweet things, and I think that's all for now folks. Thanks for watching.